Hello users, we are going to be looking at the second part in our tutorial series, which picks up where we left off with the last video that we did on the first tutorial under the campaign menu. So let's go ahead and go over there. I want to show you some idiosyncrasies. What we did in our last video was we went in, did the tutorial on the first part of the tutorials campaign, and what happened when I came back in and I select campaign, I don't see anything here. Now I can go here and that will take me to, I believe that takes me to the next part of the tutorial, but it doesn't go exactly the same way that it would if I were to just go one tutorial after the other. So I want to show you what that looks like. We're going to reset the progress and go back to the very first tutorial, and I'll show you how to skip through a tutorial. So we'll just go ahead and click go ahead, and this should take us to the box sector where we had the first tutorial. And try that again. And now it seems like we're locked up in some way. So let's disregard that, and I'm going to quit. Just quit, and we'll start all over. As we mentioned in our last video, this is an early adopter phase on Steam, which means that there's a lot, well, this is a very new program, and there's possibility of bugs. In fact, we are in the alpha version, an alpha version of the application. We haven't even made it to a beta version yet. This means that it's going to have some bugs in it. So let's see now if we go into campaign. Now it says we recommend you start with a tutorial to get up to speed. We'll click tutorial, and that takes us into the box. I wasn't sure that's what was going to happen, but
welcome to FlightLevel, an ATC simulator created by real air traffic controllers. In this tutorial, we will teach you the basic skills that you need to begin your journey. So let's get started.
So what we need to do is we need to get far enough along until we see the skip button down here, and that
to begin,
this will come
let's
in
learn a little bit about some important
after
terms
the first,
such as label, route,
box
flight level, and so on.
Is cleared.
Oh, and bear with us, like our
So
instructors told us a long time ago.
And that brings us to this screen, and that tells us how we did on that particular thing. And it says, well, we did well on that. We got a score of 2,000, and we finished the intro campaign. And now we can go ahead and go into the next scenario by clicking this. Now let's go back to the main menu. And from the main menu, we'll click campaign. And now we see we don't have any scenarios listed over here the way we did the first time. And it says select campaign to see information progress. And so we can't select a campaign, but we'll go ahead and click play campaign. And that takes us to the L-shaped sector. I'm not sure what this sector is called, but it's in the shape of an L, and that will make more sense when we get on into the scenario. And it says, now that we've got the label introduction done, it's time to start some practical exercises. First thing you'll learn is turning, or as it is known in aviation, vectoring. Your objective here is to vector or turn the aircraft to their final exit points. Toby 1 and Toby 2 want to reach point north, and Mike 1 wants to get to point east. And to toggle waypoint names, press N. So if we'll press the N key now, and let's see, right at this point, apparently it is not enabled. We'll have to do that after we click Roger. Let's see if we can do it now. There we go. Now we have and I think that was not supposed to happen. No, this is another bug in the program. When we pan, it should bring the whole thing. Maybe when we click Roger, everything will catch up and do that right. But I'm a little surprised by the way this happened. So I was trying to get that out of the way. And here are the markers, but the names have changed. Let's see if we can. The names have moved. This one is the north entry and exit point, and this one right here is the east entry and exit point. And Toby 1, Toby 2 want to go out the north exit point, and Mike 1 wants to go out the east exit point down here. And in order to communicate with these aircraft, they have to be within our sector, and they are at this point. So let's say, look at this. To make this a little easier, we shall use a little time warp. You can use time warp yourself too by pressing the right arrow to speed up or left arrow to slow down and down arrow to return to the normal speed. You can use speed 1, 2, 4, and 8. So right now we are at 0, which means the time has paused, and I'm pretty sure that we're not allowed to pause the simulation while we're playing, but they pause it during these tutorials at appropriate times. Let's click Roger, and it paused us to, it sent us to 8 times the speed, and that is just too fast for us. So let's go to 2 times the speed, maybe 4 times the speed, so that it'll speed things up, but we don't need to be going quite as fast as these other guys are going. Now let's start by giving Toby 1 a clearance to turn to heading 300. And to do that, we select the HDG button and click on 300. You may notice that HDG 270 is highlighted. That means Toby 1 is currently flying a heading of 270. And you can use this information to plan your next vectors and turns. So if we click this button, see the 270 is highlighted, and they say that they want us to turn it to 300, which is 30 degrees. We're going to turn it 30 degrees, and let's see if it allows us to do that at this point. Maybe it does. Nope. I don't believe it does. So we'll have to do that after we click Roger. And so we're going to click Roger and turn it to 300.
Toby 1, fly heading 300.
Fly heading 300. Toby 1.
And Toby 1 is an A310, Airbus 310. Toby 2 is a B739. And I do see that the names caught up with the icons out here, so I guess that's good. It says here now, once you have made the initial turn, then the easiest way to get Toby 1 to north is to imagine a line from north to mid and give the clearance to turn slightly before Toby 1 reaches it. This is done because it takes time for you to say the clearance and the pilot to read it back, and only then will the aircraft start turning. So the point is, we want to get Toby 1 on this line that goes from mid to north, and we want to do that. We want to make the instruction to the aircraft at the appropriate time for that to work just the way we want it to. So let's see. Plus, it's a commercial aircraft and not a race car. That means it doesn't turn as fast as a race car does. So we click Roger and we just let it go ahead. Notice that the altitude, we're at 320 here. Toby is at 300, so everything's fine. Now it's time to start thinking about your next turn for Toby 1 in case you haven't begun already. So it's about time to make that call. So let's go ahead, go to heading, and we want it to turn to 360.
Toby 1, fly heading 360.
Fly heading north. Toby 1.
And we're going to go to Toby 2 and go ahead and give it a turn to 300.
Toby 2, fly heading 300.
Fly heading 300. Toby 2.
And I'm going to move this label over here so it doesn't interfere with Mike. And I'll move this one down here so it doesn't interfere. A tip concerning labels tells us always keep them separated from each other in order to have a clear understanding on which label belongs to which aircraft. A professional controller, too many F's on that word there, is usually constantly moving the labels around in order to keep them separated. And it's also a form of scanning for potential conflicts because you don't simply move the labels, but you also quickly check what's written in the label. So you see, what is the altitude? The altitude is 300, flight level 300. This altitude is flight level 320. There are 2,000 square feet separation between them, so they'll be fine. This is flight level 330, so it has its own level, and it's at least 1,000 feet from Mach 1, so it'll be fine as well. It always puts us back to the speed of 1 when it comes out of that, when we click Roger, so if we want it to speed up, we have to tell it to. A friendly reminder not to forget Toby 2. Well, we've already given Toby 2 instructions to turn by 30 degrees, and so we haven't forgotten it. And we're going to try to vector him to the north the same way we did Toby 1. Now we're getting down where we can make a turn for Mach 1. We'll click heading, and in this case we want to take 30 off that, so that would be 150.
Mach 1, fly heading 150.
Fly heading 150, Mach 1.
And we're going to go ahead and turn Toby 2 to 360.
Toby 2, fly heading 360.
Fly heading north, Toby 2.
Now let's talk to Mach 1. Since it's moving from north to south, it should be noted that your right is the pilot's left. This is Mike, and vice versa. So since we gave Toby 1 a heading of 300, let's give Mike the opposite heading. 300 minus 180 is 120. A good rule of thumb is to turn right, you add, and to turn left, you deduct. Keep in mind, we only have 360 degrees. Now try to vector Mach 1 to point east on your own. Well, we turned Mike to, what did we tell Mike to do? We told Mike to turn to 150. It says 120, so that we'd be going parallel with this Mike Toby 2. So let's go ahead. I guess we can do that. We'll turn this. Oh, we'll have to click Roger before we do that. Now we can come in here and set it to 120.
Mach 1, fly heading 120.
Fly heading 120, Mach 1.
Give Mike time to get down to the to our east-west heading here. And then we'll turn him on the way. We're not exactly on this path here, but I think we're close enough that it should like what we've done. Might not be good enough for professional ATC purposes, but for flight level gaming purposes, it should be okay. Now for this one, because we're coming in at a shallower angle, we want to wait a little bit longer before we give the instruction to turn to the east. Let's give it a little bit of boost in speed and go ahead and make our final turn to 90 degrees.
Mike 1, fly heading 090.
Fly heading 090, Mike 1.
And that was almost perfect. Now, since the Toby 1 is going out of the sector, we would ordinarily want to hand him off. But that's not a part of this tutorial, so we won't care about that at this time. We'll go ahead and speed things up to 8 times and complete our scenario. There we go. Campaign name, tutorial scenario name, campaign name, tutorial scenario name, turns. And the score we received was 501,500. Separation losses, none. Level clearances, none. Heading clearances, 7. Total time on headings, 1168. I'm not sure if that's 1168 what? 1168 seconds? I don't know. And directs given, they were 0 in this. So that's it for tutorial number 2. So we're going to go ahead and close this video out, and we'll see you again in tutorial number 3. That should be up on Yahoo soon after we get this one up on Yahoo. So we'll have to get this one on Yahoo and on YouTube, and then we'll do another recording and get tutorial 3 up on YouTube as well. So thanks again for listening.